Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, unboxing today. And doing the honors today is one that I just want to give a little bit of a mention to. It went to work with me today. It's been going to work with me. But just gotta put it out there. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. This is the M390 waistline, titanium waistline from Artisan Cutlery. Absolutely love it. It's turned into one of my favorites. This is a beautiful knife. Beautiful, beautiful. That's all I got. That's all I could really say about it. One little oddity about it, though, that makes it a little bit different than the Hornet, because I've taken apart the Hornet's pivot, and I've taken apart this pivot, is that this is the male side of the pivot, and this is the female side of the pivot. This side screws into this side, which is kind of odd because usually the side with this is a T8. Usually the side with the Torx bit is usually the male side, and it screws into the female side. But this one doesn't. But one thing also I found out about this one is that every knife that I own, pretty much, unless it's put together with red Loctite or something, the pivots always come loose. And the pivots do come loose. This one and the Hornet, I play with them so much that the pivots do come loose. And so what you do have to do is tighten them, because when they come loose, the blade will come all the way. Well, this one's centered right now. This doesn't need to be adjusted right now. It's been tightened up. But when it's tightened up, it stays perfectly centered. That's where it's supposed to be. And that's just where it's supposed to be. You gotta get past the detent. There it goes. These are really nice knives. Get past the detent. Nice knives. But anyway, what I was gonna say is that there I go, getting sidetracked again. But when they become loose, the blade will go over to the non-leaf spring side, the side without the lock bar. This side. This, I would call this the show side. The show side. The blade will, when the pivot becomes loose, the blade will wander over to the show side. And the reason why is because on a liner lock or a frame lock or a subframe lock, you're always the lock bar is always putting pressure on the side of the blade, and it's pushing it to the non-leaf spring side. So when it becomes loose, they all usually pretty much will float over to the non-leaf spring side. It's just part of this type of lock. Absolutely love it. But one thing I found out about this one, though, because I messed around with it at work, when I had some private time or whatever, and is that you can tighten it up by just using your fingernail. I'm trying to loosen it up right now, see if I can loosen it for you. There you go. But see, now you can see how the blade floats over to the other side. You guys see that? Now with my fingernail, remember this is the male side. This is the female side. I know this looks like the male side, but it's not. It's the female side, the side with the Torx T8. This is the male side. And you can take your fingernail and you can put your fingernail in it and you can tighten it up until the blade's center. Perfect. I love this knife. So that means, even for somebody like me, I always make the pivots come loose. And this one, when the first time it came loose, I put blue Loctite in it. So it has blue Loctite in it, but it still comes loose. So it's like the CRKT pivots, where you gotta go a little bit stronger. If you don't want it to move, you gotta put a little dab of red. But I'm not gonna do that. I like being able to adjust it with my fingernail. And so if I leave it like this, it's easy to take apart and service. So I like it like that. You know what I mean? I'm just aware that when it starts to float to one side, I need to tighten it up. Boom. With my fingernail. I really like this. This is an awesome Artisan Cutlery. If anybody from Artisan Cutlery is watching this, keep making your pivots like this. One side T8 and the other side like this, so you can adjust it with your fingernail like I'm explaining to everybody right here. This works great. I don't know. It just works. Because, you know, I've never had one that doesn't come loose unless it's held together with red Loctite. And then you don't want that because then you can't service it. It's hard to service it without stripping out, you know, your drivers and your screw heads. And it's just a mess. It's better to have something that you could just simply adjust. Simply adjust or simply take apart. On the fly. You know what I mean? This I could do on the fly. I've done it several times now. I love this knife. It's an excellent knife. This edge is awesome. It's awesome. I will say, though, that the S35VN one that I've received is a little bit sharper than this one. This is the M390 version. This is the most expensive one. The other one I got for $158. This one was $213, but normally they go for $224. Both titanium, everything else is just different blade steels. One has S35VN and the other one has M390. And the S35VN one normally goes for, I think, like 187 or something like that. I think it's like 187. That's what they usually go for. But I got one that was a Knife Center holiday sale, and they had it for 168, and then Knife Center owed me $10, and so I got it for 158. Or I had like a $10 worth of points or something like that. Reward points, that's what it was. Reward points, I think it was. It came out to $10. I used the reward points. And got it for 158. But that's the sharpest one I've received so far. The D2 one, the one that I got for $59, that one's really sharp too. That one's comparable to any cold steel knife that you would get. But the one with the S35VN blade steel, that one's on another level. That's like the sharpest knife I think I've ever received. That one's like super sharp. When they sharpened that one, they got that one perfect. This one is not as sharp as that one, but it's sharper than the D2. Best way to put it. And I know it's M390, so I know it's going to hold this edge that it has for a long time without me having to sharpen it or whatever. I'll just strop it if it gets dirty or whatever. Excellent blade. But anyway, let's get busy. All right, let's take this one up the picture. This video is going to be a part 1 of 2. This is coming from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Invoice. ATZ. Artisan Cutlery. The model is 1707C-A. Arson Cutlery Shark Copper. ATZ 1707BRA-A. Okay? But we all know what that means. Arson Cutlery Shark Brass. Right on. The unit price for each one was $37.77. $37.77. That's what each knife costs. Total I paid was $81.40, and that was with merchandise plus tax. Order total was $81.40. Merchandise cost was $75.54. Smoky Mountain Knife Works. These are exclusives. These are exclusives. The only way you can get these is from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Here we go. And like I said, this is going to be part 1 of part 2. This one we're just doing the unboxing, and we're taking a look at the knives and measurements and all the normal stuff that we do. And the second one will be the beginning of the next part. It's gonna have a couple of different parts. I'm not sure if it's gonna have like 3 or 4. That's what I'm sort of debating on. But I know there's gonna be at least 3 parts. The first part will be the unboxing. Second part will be the teardown, and the third part will be the result. That's the way I plan on doing it. But there might be a 4th. I think that's all there's going to be is the 3 parts. So here we go. The unboxing. This one is the copper version, 1707C. Artisan Cutlery. So it comes in a box. And a specification card. Gives you your warranty information. And your spec card. Let's read it. Arson Cutlery Specifications. Model 1707C. Blade steel D2. Blade hardness 58 to 60 HRC. Handle material copper. Structure ceramic ball bearing liner lock. Process CNC machine. And it comes in beautiful Arson Cutlery pouch. This is a $37 knife, people, or $38. Let's just round it off to 77 cents to another dollar. Make it $38. For $38, this is what you're getting for $38. I think it's a deal. I think this is an awesome deal. Let me put all this stuff away. Awesome deal. Arson Cutlery has such class. I love the way that they do stuff. Absolutely love the way they do stuff. They try to do stuff with class. They just don't throw something at you. They're showing that they're taking pride in their product. That's what they're doing. They're trying to set themselves apart from other people that are producing things in China that aren't high quality. That's what I think. Just trying to, show you a little bit different level what they can do. This knife feels heavy. This feels heavy. This got to be at least 6.5 ounces. I say in between 6.5 and 6.7, 6.6, somewhere around there. It's a heavy knife. It feels like it'd be a good self-defense weapon just to hold in your hand. It'd add weight to your punch. Beautiful. Let's say we go. Oh, listen. You want to see the centering? Here we go. Looks beautiful. This one basically, let me make a comment here before I fire it off. I'm going to grab my first one that I got. This is the first one I got. This one has been used and played with a lot now. But basically it looks like this one, and the reason, here we go, let's fire it. It fires just as fast as the original one. This one doesn't weigh anything though. This one feels like it doesn't weigh anything compared to this one. All right, here we go. This one has G10 with blue stainless steel liners. This one's copper with blue stainless steel liners. This one has a blue pivot. This one has an unfinished pivot, like a satin finish pivot. This one has recessed pocket clips for right and left carry, tip-up carry. This one doesn't have recessed pocket clips for right and left tip-up carry. That's a big difference, because when these start to wear out and become loose, the pocket clip always goes from side to side. That's what I've always experienced with the pocket clips like this, mounted like this. But when it's recessed like that, it can't go side to side because the pocket clips and sits inside of it. So this is the best way to go. And it's something to pay attention to if you're going to keep the knife for long-term use. But this one feels light. This one feels like one that you want to carry every day. At least I would, because I like to carry knives that I don't feel in my pocket. I like to carry lightweight things. I like to carry big, lightweight knives. Is that a good way to put it? Like this, that's what attracted me to this knife in the first place, is that it's the size of it, the blade thickness, you know, when I was reading the specifications. The price was awesome. And the material's D2 with G10, you know, and it's Artisan Cutlery, so I knew it was better than CJRB. So, you know, I was like, oh yeah, let me in on that one. Because the size of this is like a size of knife that I like. I like 4-inch blades for pocket knives, everyday carry pocket knives. I'd like to carry things like pretty much in between my favorite sizes to carry, because I do love my Kiku. I love to carry the Kiku all the time. That's only a 3-inch blade. So I gotta say, I like to carry things like from 3 to about 4.5 inches for blades. I probably prefer the ones I like the best always are the ones in between 3.75 and 4.5 inches. 3.5 inches to me is like more like a 3.25 inch blade. I mean, it starts to be small. And I start to think of anything that's 3.5 inches or smaller as like, you know, from 3. Well, my smallest knife I like to carry is a 2.75 inch, what do you call it, the Hogue micro flip. I love that knife. And so 2.75 to 3.5 inches, I guess, are the ones I like to carry for when I want to carry a small knife. And when I want to carry something a little bit bigger as a pocket knife, I like to carry something that's like that size of 4.5 inches, I guess. 3, you know, like you go like from, yeah, about that, you know, because the other one, like the Pentagon that I like to carry, is 3.66 inches, I think it is, for the blade knife. But anyway, getting sidetracked again. Absolutely love this. I can tell the blade thicknesses are the same. Let's look at the blade thicknesses real quick. I know they're the same as like previous videos I've done on this one, because it looks like the exact same knife with different scales on it, basically. That looks like the only difference to me. It's the scales and the pivot screws. Okay, let's get 0. Okay, here we go. Do it so everybody can see it. Okay, let's do this one. Let's read 0 again. Okay. So they're about the same. I would say they're the same. Sometimes you get a little different readings on this, and then when it's like really close, I just call it the same. Because I don't know if it's like me, maybe I move a little bit or something, it changes the reading a little bit. But I could tell these are 3.8s. These are 3.8s. All of the ones that I have, the Hornets, the Waistlines, and the Sharks, The ones that are I would call them the budget. Let's call them the budget models. Artisan's budget models. The so far they've all been 3.8 millimeter D2 blades. So I bet you what they do is they use the same blade stock for the entire line of knives. Maybe I don't know. I've never owned all the other ones. I've only owned 3, and all 3 of them that I have the same thickness for blade stock. So that lets me know that they're using the same steel to make all 3 knives. They just grind them and everything differently. This probably all has the same heat treat and everything like that, though. And I think when Love Them Knives tested the D2 from Artisan, he said it was 63 or something like that. Came out to HRC at 63, which seems kind of high to me for D2. I don't know. So I don't know if that means that it's going to be like hard to resharpen these, or if these are going to be brittle, or what. But I don't know. But he also said that one thing that made a little bit different about Artisan's D2 from other people's D2, because Artisan does their own steel. And the formula that they use for their D2 has a little bit more chromium in it, and it has something else in it. They made the blades they made the blade a little bit tougher, so it should be a little bit more rust resistant, even more than normal D2. So it'd be even closer to a stainless steel. Remember, Arson came out with their own new powdered steel. Was it the RPM 9? And I've used that. That's really, that cuts really nicely too. My Gobi. Absolutely love it though. Okay, let's get on to the next one. We'll weigh them once we get them all together here. I'm just quickly going to go over the spec sheet. It has a warranty card just like the other one. These are coming from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Artisan Cutlery specifications, model 1707BR. That means brass, of course. Blade steel D2, blade hardness 5860 HRC. Handle material brass. Structure ceramic ball bearing liner lock. Process CNC machine. This is the brass one. This is the one that's going to be the next 2 videos. Now, you know me, I have all of them in every video, but this one's going to be the one that's going to get modified. And the only thing that's going to get modified on it is going to be like how I did this one. Well, actually, I swapped parts on this one. This one has a different blade than it normally had, because when it was brand new, it looked like this. That one. But this one, I'm just going to take it all the way apart, and I'm going to just polish the scales, the handle scales. I want to do like a mirror polish. I want to make them look like polished gold. I want to make them really shiny and beautiful. That's the way I envision this one. This one, I want it to be like this, because I want it to tarnish. Copper, I'm going to be like a copper penny, like an old copper penny. Turn brown almost. But this one I want it to be, I was in the military, so, like when we used to wear our Class A's, uniforms and stuff, we had to wear all of our awards and brass and everything on our uniforms. And we had to make sure our brass was polished. In basic training, they teach you how to polish brass. In the Army, I don't know what the other service branches do, but in the Army, you learn how to polish brass. How to spit shine boots and polish brass. Starch fatigues. Well, I don't know. Nowadays, they don't wear starch fatigues no more. I'm telling them, giving away my age now. Starch fatigues is the cotton fatigues is what they had before, and permanent press fatigues was what they had before they had the camis. And that's what they had when I first joined the military. We're standing tall and looking good. This is beautiful. I'm just picturing it in my mind all polished. Okay, let's get down to specs. This is going to be a 3.8 millimeter blade, just like the other ones. We don't need to do all that. It's going to be the same blade. Because all these knives are basically the same knife. They just have different handle scales on them. That's the only thing that's really different about these knives. They're not different. And the exclusiveness comes from only Smoky Mountain Knives has these. From Artisan Cutlery. That's my understanding anyway. Let's see how, well, let's first do this first. We've done the measurements. We move this out the way. We all know how long they are. Just shy of 9 inches. Just shy of 9 inches. Just shy of 9 inches. The blade length, 4 inches. Actually, then wait a minute, hold on. It's a little bit shorter than 4 inches. Here's the point right there. Well, that one says 4 inches. I got one that's longer. Okay, now 4 inches. 4 inches. Okay. So they're 4 inches. The handle length is just shy of 5 inches. So it's got a pretty long blade for the handle then. But it has a nice fitment though. I like the way that these have the open backs with the barrel spacers. I like that better than having the G10 back spacer like this one has. That's another difference. And I like the way this one has the recessed pocket clip. This one doesn't. This one I got for $52. And I've seen them as low as like 44 bucks for this model. This is the base model for a shark. That's right, this is the base model. Look how beautiful that knife is. These are sharp too. These ain't no joke. These ain't no joke. These are really nice knives for how much they cost. This is 37 bucks. This is even cheaper. This was 37 bucks. And it's an exclusive from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. They're all out of the bronze ones. They originally had bronze, brass, and copper. They still have brass and copper left, I think. But they're out of the bronze ones. I wanted to get a bronze one too, but they're all gone. So I could have had all three. This is the only one I'm going to modify though. The other one I'm going to leave it just the way it is. This one in video number 2, we're going to take it apart. All right, let's compare weights. Here we go. 4.3 ounces for the base model. 4.3 ounces. I don't even know why I'm calling that base because it was less expensive than, I mean, it was more expensive than this one. Almost twice as much. Here we go. 6.6. Boy, am I good. What did I say, 6.5 or something? 6.6. 6.6 ounces. And the one I'm going to modify, and this one feels like 6.3 to me. 6.2 or something like that. 6.3. So brass is lighter than the copper. I like this one better. This one might end up in my drawer because I know after I polish it, I'm going to fall in love with it. Because actually the shark was the one that I liked the most from the beginning. Even though I've used the others. I sort of like those a little bit better. But I still got love for the shark. I can't wait until I get the titanium one. I'm still waiting on the titanium one. I have a titanium shark coming too. Oh, that's a beautiful knife. This is going to be beautiful once it's polished. I could tell. And I'm not going to do the blade. I'm leaving the blade and everything else just the way it is. I'm just doing the handle scales. That's it. I just want to polish these. Because in my mind, I think it should have been polished. I think it should have had like a mirror polish on it, you know, like looking like, you know, like standing tall and looking good, just like a soldier should. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, this one's gonna go to boot camp. Basic training. Alright, that's all I got for this one. Video number 2 coming up. Peace. Stiletto.